Jags Nation, this is the Action Sports Jags postgame show.
Well, there you go. You just saw it. Worse than the Buffalo game. A pathetic embarrassment by our Jacksonville Jaguars, and this time the entire country could see it, unless you're on the West Coast, which you probably didn't get up early for this one. Hopefully you didn't. Maybe here in Jacksonville you went to church today. That would have been a better time for you, because watching this football team is beyond maddening. They did absolutely nothing with the modicum, the tiny bit of momentum that they got from last week's win, which in the end, in hindsight, when you look back, was a victory over a Colts team in Jacksonville that had a backup quarterback, was missing a bunch of starters. The Jaguars played good for about a quarter today, and then they decided that the rest will be vacation, and the vacation begins now while they'll spend the week over there in London. What are they going to say? Does it matter? Blah, 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 blah. It's like Charlie Brown. It's like Charlie Brown. You know, remember the old Charlie Brown TV series? Wah, 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 wah. That's the teacher. Wah, 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 wah. They say the same junk over and over again. And listen, I'm not picking sides. Everybody should be fired. The owner gave the vote of confidence. They really responded to that. He still believes. Why, I don't know. I would stop believing, Shad. Stop believing. I can promise you this. This group is not going to get it done. It's not going to get it done. I'm just telling you. I'm not a football expert, Shad. I'm just telling you, your general manager has not given you a good football team. The players themselves, the guys that you rewarded, are not playing well. The other guys stink. The coaching staff, while I don't blame them entirely, they still have their moments. But this one, for me, is on the players today. The players play, and they didn't play. And they make mistake after mistake. I've written a few down. But if you talked about the first drive as a symbol of the Jaguars, that's it. That's it. A beautiful drive. Trevor's dishing it to everybody. He's getting everybody involved. There's Evan Ingram. You know, there's Christian Kirk. There's Gabe Davis. There's Brian Thomas Jr. We're down there driving the ball. And then we decide to get set and move. Get set and move. It's 10 yards of penalties when you're in the red zone. Can't do that. And then on 3rd and goal, hits a magnificent shot to Gabe Davis. Drops the ball. Drops the ball. We kick a field goal. 99 yards in the first quarter, 14 for the Bears. Then the Bears said, wait a second, let's just throw. They're the worst ranked pass defense in the NFL. So they did. And then you're down 14-3, score a whopping 3 points at the half, but you get the ball to start the second half. And what happens on the first play? Evan Ingram fumbles, which negates his 10 catches for his 100 yards because he fumbles. Because when they have to do something, they can't. When the Jaguars have to make a play, they don't. When they have to get a sack, they're nowhere to be found. And then you get towards the second half. The defense is on the field. The Jags have scored a touchdown. If they have any chance of coming back, it's now or never. Because, by the way, when the Jaguars go on drives, they can't score in a minute or 2 minutes. They score in like 9 minutes. Of how all these 10-play drives, Kurt Warner pointed this out today. I think 8 10-play drives without a touchdown until finally late. But when they got any chance, 21-10, not once, not twice, but 3 times, the Jaguars' defensive line converges on Caleb Williams on 3rd down to stop a drive. Penalty. Holding, 25. Penalty. Holding, 25. I mean, I make a plea to you, Shad Khan. Do something, anything. Tell Doug Pederson, tell Trent Baalke, if you're not going to get rid of them, they better get rid of somebody. Somebody's head's got to roll. You're 1-5. The season's over. It's done. Pack up the balls. Let's talk draft. Let's figure out who they're going to pick, what wrong guy they're going to pick to keep this thing going in perpetuity. The hair's white now. It's been the same way for most of these 30 years. It just doesn't get better. It's a broken record. Every week I come on the post-game show and say the same things over and over and over again. Pick one after another, receivers dropping balls. Did they drop 4 touchdown passes today? Not that, again, it didn't matter because 3 of them were on the same drive, but I think they dropped 4 touchdown passes today. 4. Professional football players whose job it is to perform simply cannot do it. Simply can't do it. Brent Martineau caught up with Maurice Jones-Drew after the game.
Oh, man, you've got 2 of the most positive guys in Jacksonville over the last 10 or 15 years. Sunshine and Rainbows Club. We can't even talk about that. It's down and dreary here in London. What is up with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Maurice Jones-Drew?
Brent, first of all, it's good to see you. It's been a long time. It was good to see everyone here. I really can't tell you. You know, I thought they cured a lot of woes last week. Defense was still giving up some, long plays. But it felt like today just wasn't, I heard about the practice schedule and all this stuff that was going on. You just hope that wasn't part of it. But at the end of the day, it was good to see everybody. It's been a long time. So no matter what the outcome was here, for me, it was just exciting to see everybody from a long time ago. So happy to see you.
Yeah, I didn't even say hi to you. Sorry.
It's all good.
It's that kind of deal in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Listen, you played with some teams that struggled. You played with some teams that were good.
Yeah.
For me, and I think a lot of folks back home, Gabe Davis misses that touchdown. And when they have a bad play, they just can't recover from it. I mean, that thing spiraled out of control in the second and third quarter.
No, and that's what happens when you have a team that has high expectations, right? I think one of the biggest things I've noticed with this team is they press, right? They know they're talented. They know how they have a good roster, but you have to be able to play and play together. And so when a guy makes a mistake, that's okay, right? The next guy needs to lift him up. And, hopefully they get that. I think, again, you have a lot of players here that can make plays. Someone just has to step up and be that guy for him consistently. And now it was again, coming off of last week, I was super excited to be here. I saw a lot of sparks, a lot of big plays offensively, defense. Trayvon Walker had all those sacks, and then today you really didn't see as much of that. So you just want to try to get more consistent play at the best.
All right, one more. Do you get concerned now, though, that they tune things out, that Doug loses where they're trying to go here? I mean, the season looks like it's over at 1-5.
It's a long season. They have an extra game, so I wouldn't say it's over. I work for the Rams. They're 1-4, so they're on their bye week. So to me, real football starts in the next couple weeks, right? October for the Jags, it normally starts here in London. They start getting on a roll. But we always know, no matter what you do in early October, early September, it doesn't matter till November, December football comes around. So you got a chance to really turn things around and get on a hot streak. And if you can roll off 3 or 4 games in a row, you just never know. They just got to figure out their mojo in a way. They just got to figure out what they do best and do that to the best of their ability. Right now, I think on both sides of the ball, it's kind of like we're trying to run the ball, we're trying to throw it here, we take shots every now and then defensively it's kind of like we're a man team one week, we're a zone team the next. So you just got to figure out what works for you, and then when it works, whatever works for them, they got to figure it out, and they'll get it going. I'm always optimistic. Like I said, Deuce was here. Deuce, if he was here, he'd be really sad. He was hoping the Jags were going to be here early in the week, but we're still a big Jags family. We'll always be that.
Yeah, I know, and we appreciate that. You mentioned Deuce. I was going to, what's about 5, 6, 7 years down the road, new stadium, maybe another Maurice Jones-Drew in a Jags uniform.
That from your mouth to Shad's ears. Hopefully first round too. Don't do like Dad and go second round. Go first round, son. You deserve it.
Great to see you, man.
Good to see you as well.
Maurice Jones-Drew, Jaguars great, of course, here in London as the Jags get whooped by the Chicago Bears.
I love you, Mojo. I love you. And what works for the Jags, figure it out. Nothing. That's the answer. Nothing works. Here is the, numbers from the, ass beating the Jacksonville Jaguars took today. They had 278 total yards. That's a week after they had 500. 17 first down. None of these numbers matter. When it mattered, they did nothing. They couldn't you dominate a first quarter, you're up 3-0. You know, I mean, it's just, it's mind-boggling how they invent ways every week. The players aren't any good. They're no good. Gobbledygook, man. They say the same stuff. Here's the schedule, by the way. Look at it. It's terrible. This is the winnable stretch we're in right here. Winnable stretch. Now we have an L, okay? That's after you lost to the Browns. You lost to the Dolphins, man. Should have won the Dolphin game. You embarrassed yourself at home against the Browns. The Bills was humiliating. Couldn't beat the Texans, but we're in games. We're in games. You weren't in the Bills game. You weren't in the Bears game. You're 1-5. You probably will lose to Drake May. Who knows? I don't know. I don't care anymore because you're even if you win that, then it gets back. You're going to beat these. You're not going to win. It's over, man. This was your last gasp chance. It's October 20th next week. I mean, I get it, Mojo. I know. And you're an optimistic guy, and I love you for it. I'm not. I've been watching it up close and personal. We've seen this song and dance, haven't we, guys? We all know what's going to happen. We stink. We stink. And they got to do something because it's not going to get any better. It's the same stuff every week, man. Minus a week against a backup quarterback at home, against a franchise that you beat at home every year. Other than that, this was your chance, and you got dominated by a team that's okay with a rookie quarterback. They were missing 2 starters in the secondary. 23 of 35. Again, it doesn't matter. A couple touchdowns. Wasn't Trevor's fault, man. I'm just telling you guys. We can blame Trevor. How good is Trevor going to be? I don't know. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't the coach's fault. It's the player's fault. It's all the player's fault. I mean, Evan Ingram, 10 catches, so what? You fumbled. You can't fumble. Etienne is just not playing well. And then he gets hurt, so he's done. He's out. He's got a hamstring. That means 6 weeks. That means hello December when he gets back. It's done, man. It's done. Arik Armstead, welcome to the club. This is Hugh Douglas. This is Bryce Popp. This is Jerry Porter. This is Aaron Ross. Hi, Arik. Take a seat next to the guys who took the money to go on vacation in the Sunshine State. What is that? I mean, what are we doing? Devin Lloyd, I'll follow this guy, I'll follow that guy. I don't know. I mean, 12 men on the field? What are we, the Florida Gators? I mean, just 12 men on the field, right? We're off the field, but we got 12 men on a third down. It's mind-numbing. The stats don't matter today. They don't matter. Brian Thomas Jr. even dropped one. Gabe Davis dropped 2 touchdowns. 2. He had 2. You know what those are? Those are home runs when you're down 9-2 in the 8th inning. That's what those are. They don't count. When it mattered, you didn't catch the ball. It's just not good enough, man. Shad, you got to do something. It can't be that fun. It can't be fun watching this every week. Talk to someone else besides your general manager. Talk to somebody else that you trust that knows football. Ask him his honest opinion. Find out what a lot of us think we know. You didn't do enough to build up this roster, and they're not good enough. The guys you brought in from the winning programs are now in a losing program, and they're not lifting us to being a winning program. I mean, Ronald Darby, 2 holds in a row? Can't do that on third down, man. Arik Armstead, already mentioned. Does he even play? I mean, these guys, they make plays when it doesn't matter. And then we go, oh, look, he's got 9 sacks. Oh, look, he's got 1,000 yards receiving. When it matters, what do? You don't do it. Offensive line went back to being the offensive line today. 3 sacks. They ran the ball. I have it written down 20 times for 68 yards. Whoop-de-doo. Ran the hardest guy I'm hardest on, number 2. He ran the hardest. There's no verses here. I mean, look at it. And Bigsby even. Bigsby, it's like a terror returning kicks, but he fumbled again. I mean, we got it back. It doesn't matter. When it mattered, we had 3 straight 3-and-outs in the first half. When it matters, we don't do it. That's the problem. The numbers might look okay for some of these dudes. Doesn't matter, because when it matters, they do not get it done. We're waiting Doug Pederson. What's he going to say? I mean, again, I agree with Doug for the most part. You know, a lot of you guys come at me on Twitter, you know, fire the... I get it. The play calling's there, man. You know, you got to execute. There's the podium. They don't execute. They get executed. They don't execute. And all of a sudden you look up and it's 14-3. You got a great first drive, but you kill 8 minutes, you only get 3 points. And then all of a sudden you go into this, we can't convert a 3rd and 3. You know, I had a play, I remember one time they threw it out to Evan Ingram on like a 3rd and 4, and he catches the ball here, and Brian Thomas Jr. is trying to make a block. And, of course, the Bears get paid too, by the way, and they make a good play. But I think if Evan Ingram plants his foot and cuts up, he splits the 2 guys, he gets the first down. Instead, he kind of rounds it off, and he gets blown up, and then there's no first down. So we punt, and we punt. We got a great punter. Thank you, Logan Cook. Shout out, Logan Cook. I mean, it's just... it's depressing, man. And the reason why is, like I said, it's worse than Buffalo. It's the Bears. They're okay. They're good. They're 4-2. You know, you go to Buffalo on a Monday night, you get your butts handed to you. Okay, one time I'll, you know, whatever. Today you're in London where you're supposed to be good, where you got it figured out. What'd you say? Oh, where you're good. That's Liv. Gang, meet Liv. She's a producer in my ear. She's kind of a ghost. But anyway. You got, you know, you go to London where you're 12-11, where, oh, we've got it figured out. We know how to do it. You know, and you go over there like you've never been there before, and the Bears haven't been there, and they go in there and they just whoop you. And they start out slow. We have no mental toughness on this team, man. When we start out slow, we're toast. When we start out good, the other team makes adjustments, we don't. I mean, that touchdown to Cole Kmet, wide open. Then the second touchdown to Cole Kmet, wide open. You know, if I hear Rich Eisen say one more time, there's no I in Kmet. I'm just kidding. He did a good job. Whatever. It's just it's such a bummer, man. It's such a bummer. We sit here and we watch this football team week after week after week, and we all want the same thing. We just want to win, man. Just want to have a chance, you know? I'm just not going to blame the head coach today or the quarterback, but then ultimately, you know, you sit there and you go, gee whiz, Caleb Williams looks better than Trevor. I don't think it's all Trevor. It's not all Trevor's fault. But guess what? Quarterback gets too much of the blame, too much of the credit. Coach, same thing. It's not working. It's not working. It's not working. Do something different. I don't know what it is. We got rid of the defense coordinator last year. The defensive coaches left and said, hey, it's not our fault, but blame us. We'll take the heat. In comes a new defensive staff. We're going to attack, 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 attack. We play man around here. We play man defense. And then we get annihilated every week. We got the worst pass defense in the NFL. It's the worst one. Do we blitz ever? Did we address getting any pass rush? We start out the year with 91 on the outside as the backup pass rusher. There's a play on that touchdown pass. I'm going to say this one thing. I'm just going to make this a quick story while I wait for Doug Pederson. You got time. The touchdown to Kmet, the first one, you know, all the bells and whistles. Of course, we fall for everything. And I watched Devin Lloyd, and he's lost in the wash. Kmet's wide open, and then Cisco can't tackle him. But I look at Devin Lloyd, and he's just jogging down the field. And he's just jogging. I watched Texas-Oklahoma yesterday, all right? And the Texas running back went 40 down the sideline. And as he got hit, the ball came out. And 6 yards into the end zone, some receiver shot in there and fell on it. And they went back and showed the play. And the receiver was behind the line of scrimmage. But you know what he did during the football game, during the football play? He sprinted. He sprinted, which is what you're supposed to play. You're supposed to play fast in football. You're supposed to run. That's what you do. If you're ever jogging on a football field, you're not giving 100%. And you don't need to be on the football field if you're not giving 100%. You run to the football every time, even if you don't think you can get there. We don't do that. Who's that on? Well, it's on the coach to take them out then. Take them out. It's just my 2 cents. I'm not an expert. I just watch what I watch. Like you guys, I've been watching it a long time, and I've been watching bad football a long time because that's what we got.
Well, was it as bad as it felt and looked out there?
Yeah, it was really bad. I just don't know. I just felt like it was, how should I say this? A lot of quit. And, I don't know, last line of defense, in a situation like that, you could feel when we're playing as one and when we're not. And felt very early in the game, kind of once things maybe at a halftime, that we weren't playing as one.
How concerning is that?
Extremely, and dangerous. We laying our bodies on the line, and guys you gotta understand, like, when you're out there, you really playing for your brother. Like, you putting guys in vulnerable positions, whether that's physically or just like, from a career aspect. Like, take care of each other when we're out there, like, at the least, even if things start to get bad. So, yeah, just not a good product at all.
You've been around this thing. You guys are supposed to be better than 1-5. Mm-hmm. How do you fix it? I mean, how do you get out of stuff that you're talking about?
Next Sunday, like, I'm at the point personally. I just feel like, practice is great. We come to practice like hard hats every day. Guys are in meetings, attentive. Like, it's not a scheduled thing, practice thing. It's like, bro, on Sunday, it's like when it counts. And we understand that's the hardest part, right? But, like, there's no excuse for lack of effort. Like, that's literally the least you could do is come out and give effort. And I'm not calling, like, I'm saying that to myself too. Like, so, that's always the mindset is, like, come out, give your best. If it's not perfect, it's not perfect. But, I think, watching the film, we'll see what it was.
Do you get the sense people are just waiting around? Hey, we're going to come out of this. We're going to do it. Somebody's going to make a play instead of whatever you need to do behind closed doors or on the field to actually get it done.
I feel like just so much of it is just like understanding the moment and meeting the moment, and consistently not doing that, gets you beat. So it's not a lack of talent. Like, there's really no team in the NFL that's that bad where you can't keep up. So it's not a lack of talent, and I know we have a really, really good team. But man, it's just too many moments in the game where it's like third down, get off the field. It's consistent.
Does it come down to pride right now? I mean, because who knows with the record where this thing's going?
I mean, the season's not over, like, by any means. Like, we've seen, like, the NFL is built for you to play until week 18. Like, we know that. So it's not a matter of, like, oh, the season's over, it's quit, look towards next year. It's not none of that to me. But, like, we understand, like, it's a Sunday thing. Like, it's not a scheduled thing anymore. Like, that's dead. Like, so at this point, everybody just got to understand that Sunday is the time where you show, like, what you mean. Like, mean what you say.
We got bad Jags in 2024, a season that is lost, a season that began with expectations, a season that began with hope. We signed Trevor Lawrence. We signed Josh Hines-Allen. We signed Tyson Campbell. What do we got from them? Mediocre play. It's just mediocre. Just is mediocre. Good guys, sure. Good guys. Something ain't working. I don't know what it is, but I don't think we did it. I said it all off season. I don't think we've done enough to surround this team, this quarterback, with enough talent. Said it all off season. All off season. Once again, did we get another pass rusher? No, we don't. 2 years in a row. We're going to expect Walker and Hines-Allen to get 30 sacks, 27 and a half sacks again? Of course not. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. So now, so here we are at 1-5. And yeah, so what? Well, maybe we'll beat the Patriots next week. Maybe. And if we do, big deal. We'll be 2-5, and we'll come home and we'll get hammered by Green Bay and Detroit and Minnesota and Philadelphia. And then we'll be 2-9. There's not even a reason to put that up. I mean, and when I said I didn't think we did enough, I said it with the idea of, okay, we're a middle-of-the-road team. But we're not even playing like a middle-of-the-road team. Now, we certainly have enough talent to be a middle-of-the-road team, so then I go to the coaches. But I don't know, man. I just don't know. We rolled the dice on the offensive line. And by the way, the offensive line has stayed healthy. Through the first 6 games, the same 5 are out there every week. 3 sacks today. Like I said, we ran for 3 yards a carry. Not good enough. Only 68 yards. But I'm not blaming the offensive line. It's just, when it matters, they don't make plays. All of them. Every single one of them. When it doesn't matter, we beef up our stats and make us look like we're an average football team. But we're 1-5. And it's just a head-scratcher. Well, there it is. Tottenham Hotspur. Home away from home for the Jags. 35-16. They get hammered by the Chicago Bears. Fall to 1-5 on the season. Hicken here back in Jacksonville. Brent is over in England getting some sound. We're going to hear from some of the guys who are taking the money and not playing particularly well here in just a minute. We're still awaiting Doug Pederson, which is interesting because we started this post-game show at 12:37, which means, and the game had been over for a few minutes, which means again, and this is now becoming more and more frequent, and so, again, last time I thought maybe something could be happening, but we know Shad Khan is over there. I'm not suggesting anything but if I was Shad Khan, I would be having a long meeting with Doug Pederson too, going, all right, we're putting all the chips on the table. What's the problem? What is going on here? And I need some answers. I need some answers now. And you know, again, if it was me and I'm an impetuous fan, somebody's getting canned today. But I would have canned somebody a while ago as well. How long is the Armstead interview? All right, we're going to hear from Arik Armstead right now. And if Doug Pederson comes to the podium, we'll jump in and take that. Let's go with Armstead.
How demoralizing is this one, coming off a win last week?
It always sucks to lose. Demoralizing, I wouldn't say. You know, we got more games. Can't be demoralized. Can't be defeated. Gotta keep fighting and, you know, stick together, find a way.
Is it hard to find a way right now when something goes sideways? It just seems like you guys, at times this year, can't get out of it.
I think so. You know, you got to have a next play mentality. When things break down, you got to, you know, turn the page and play the next play and not let things spiral.
Is that people looking around for other guys to make plays? Is that somebody just not making a play? What goes into that?
It's just a mentality, believing in each other, picking one another up, you know, supporting one another, realizing that we're all in this together, and go out there and you know, try to do what you can to be a reason why we win.
How much you guys have to clean up? You had that chance at 21-10 and could get them off the field. I think it was 3 different penalties that kept them on there.
Yeah, those killed us, that drive, an opportunity in the game to get off the field and make it a game there, and you know, those penalties definitely hurt us.
1-5, things can go sideways in a hurry. Are you concerned about that in here, or you confident you can find the answers?
I mean, 1-5, that's where we're at. You know, that's the type of ball that we've been playing. The answers are definitely here. No one's coming to save us. But I don't, you know, when looking around, I don't feel like we're a 1-5 team just based on, you know, the guys around me and who I'm playing with. So I definitely think the answers are here. And yeah.
One last one. How good was the rookie today?
Who?
Caleb Williams. I mean, how was he difficult in some of those spots, elusive, and put the ball where it needed to be?
Yeah, he's a good player. You know, he was able to break some scrambles and make some plays, and you know, he was efficient out there. So yeah, he's definitely a good player.
Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate him doing the interview. You know, it is demoralizing. The fans are demoralized. They've got to be demoralized. He says we don't feel like a 1-5 football team. We've been saying that all, but they are now. I mean, I don't know what else. You know, you lose the opener to the Dolphins. Okay, right? It's on the road. Quirky things happen week 1. If ETN doesn't fumble, we're fine. Then you come home and you lay a big egg against the Browns, and that should have been the first indicator. That's, by the way, I think the Browns only win. They may have another one. I don't know. So, you're 0-2. Now everything is, we're getting nervous, like what's going on? Why are we 0-2? Then you come back and you lose again to Buffalo, and you get annihilated. And now it's like, good gracious, we stink. We're 0-3. We just got destroyed. Then you go to Houston, and you're 0-4. But they said, we know the schedule's tough. Now we're going to get Indy, and we'll be fine. And you come play the Colts, and you somehow win the game, although you almost lost it. Let's not forget, let Joe Flacco go crazy in the fourth quarter. Boop, boop, 3 plays, 2 touchdowns. All of a sudden, the game's tied. Trevor has to bail him out with a field goal, game-winning drive. And you're 1-4, and okay, well, let's go to London. Let's win a couple games. If we win a couple games in London, we'll be 3-4, and we'll be sort of in the hunt. Well, in the hunt is gone now, and in the hunt won't come back until you climb back, because you're 1-5. Literally, listen, 9-8 can make the playoffs, but you think this team's going to go 8-3? Do you? We don't. Here's Doug Pederson.
Yes, to your point. I mean, that's kind of the obvious, right? I mean, right now, those are things that are sort of plaguing us, right? And it's the the mistakes, and then being able to overcome the mistake. And, those are the things that we have to obviously take a look at and correct.
How do you feel like Trevor did today, given all the other circumstances, the drops, all that stuff?
I mean, he played tough. I mean, it's, he's just one man, obviously, and we've got to play better, all around, everybody, and he included. He knows that. There's ownership in that. I mean, coaches the same way. I take full responsibility, obviously, but we all need to be better.
Doug, in hindsight, do you feel that the schedule change, maybe not even the play, but more so having to move things in practice last second, impacted your guys' preparedness for the game?
I don't.
Well, it's a 1-5 start. Where does this defeat leave you as head coach, do you think?
Defeated, obviously. I feel for the players and the coaches. We work extremely too hard, to be in this position. I feel like the guys are, they don't quit. They keep fighting. We got to figure out how to just get out of our way, and just play football. I think I say that and it sounds easy, but it's tough. It's a tough game to play, and we didn't expect to be here in this spot, and hey, now we gotta find a way to get out of it.
Do you think Wembley next week is must-win for you?
I would say so. I would say everything here on out. Quite frankly, if we want to get back to playing the type of football we know we can play, you're going to have to win a lot of games, moving forward. So. I would say that, yeah, these games moving forward are just that.
Do you believe you still have the backing of Shad Khan?
Say that again?
Do you believe you still have the full backing of Shad Khan?
I do. I was just with him, and I do.
In your opinion, what's the first point that the Jaguars should improve to change this reality that you are facing as a team? How
do we change it?
Yeah, or your first point that the Jaguars should change to react or change this losing streak.
You're going to have to. I apologize. I didn't.
What do you think that would be the first point that you would change as a coach to change this losing?
It's hard to put a thumb on it or a finger on it 30 minutes after a game. It's something I'll have to consider and really dive into, I think, these next couple of days before we get back on the field. But your point is taken.
Look, how important is it that you are all together here in London for a whole week to enable you to prepare for the next game?
I think it's huge for us, to be here as a football team, to be around each other, support each other, keep encouraging each other. There's nowhere for us to go, We're at the hotel and we see each other every day. So we gotta support each other and keep picking each other up.
There was penalties today at crucial moments that were detrimental to the team today. What can you do as a team to ensure that stops moving forward?
Yeah, those are penalties that really hurt. Again, it's the guys are taking nothing away from the players. I mean, they're playing hard, right? They're putting everything out on the field. And we keep talking. We keep showing them. We had the 12 men on the field, and that's a substitution change. I mean, it's something, I put that one on us as coaches. That's on us, So everybody has a piece of this. It's not just coaching, not just player. It's all of us, and that's where it has to start.
Couple more real quick.
What's the latest on Trevor CTA? Obviously, second half hamstring issue.
No, I haven't talked to our trainers yet, so I don't have any updates on medical yet.
What positives can you take out of today?
Great question. I'll say this. I mean, we've talked a lot as a team. I mean, I know it's a small thing, but we haven't really started football games well this year. We've given up points and we've been off the field. I thought today was a positive, right? We got them off the field early, and then offense went down and put points on. I mean, we dropped a touchdown, but we still put points on the board. I think that's a step in the right direction, and look, I could probably give you a better answer in a day or two when I look at this tape, but that's a start.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks.
That is a man who has no answers. None. I don't know. It's all of us, and it is. Josh Hines-Allen walking to the podium.
It's a lack of a lot of things, but focus can be one of those.
What do you feel like went wrong the most today on defense?
Penalties and not getting off the field, things that we've been, struggling with all year. And then the penalties, we kept them on the field, for one drive, with 3 penalties, and they ended up eventually scoring. So, being ourselves as well, got to correct those.
What would you attribute those to? Just penalties, I guess, not today, but well, including today, but going back throughout the season, just the fundamental errors that keep popping up.
I mean, I think, again, outside of the penalties, if you look at the play, we were getting off the field. So we did a better job up front of just, getting to the quarterback, getting him off his spot, all being there. It was just the penalties. I can't really speak on, what put him in that position to feel like he needed to be there. But at the end of the day, we still had to, respond and still get off the field, and we didn't do a good job of that today.
It's a 1-5 start for you guys, and now what is needed to turn things around and get back to winning ways?
Sense of urgency, must win. We know we have the trust in everybody in here, but the sense of urgency needs to pick up, the passion, the love. The reason why we do the things that we do need to pick up a little bit more, and it starts Tuesday once we get back to practice and focus on the Patriots.
What do you feel like Caleb Williams was able to do well against you guys? Why, the contain, it seemed like it was working out, and then he kind of broke free near the end of the first half, and then at the end of the game you were able to get some sacks. But just what did he sort of do?
I mean, he's going to make plays. He's done that all year. Like you said, I think the first half, outside that one drive, we did a good job of keeping him in the pocket and getting hits. But he's going to make plays, and, kudos to him.
Doug just said now that next week is must win. Do you guys as the players see that the same way?
Yes, sir.
Anything else? Thanks, John.
All right, Josh Hines-Allen talking to the media. You just heard his comments. They weren't pretty. Look, it's penalties. It's everything. It's everything. Defense, I mean, you didn't do well at all. They scored 35 points. at will. And that's after you guys pretty much shut them out in the first quarter. So they scored 35 points in 3 quarters. And they called off the dogs at the end of the, basically 35 points in 2 quarters is what you allowed, which is pathetic. It's a pathetic football team right now, gang. I mean, I know, what are they going to say? But, you know, he says, well, it'll start Tuesday. Well, maybe it should start tomorrow. Maybe it should start tonight. You know, maybe we need to, you know, expedite. Maybe we need to get together on Monday, you know, and spend a little more time together on Monday. And then get some work in. I don't know. I got no answers, man. But they're no good. They're 1-5. You know? It's like we were talking this week and we were like, you know, do you expect the Jags to come back with 2 victories from London? And all of us said no, but yet we thought they could beat the Bears. Well, what, are they going to lose to the Patriots? So, you know, and they're not. They're at best, they'll beat the Patriots, and then they'll be happy, and they'll be 2-5, and we'll paint some picture about, you know, well, maybe, just maybe, but they've finished themselves today. Because, again, the best you're going to do, honestly, against that 4 group of NFC teams, the Packers, the Lions, the Vikings, and the Eagles, is go 2-2. That's the absolute best. I'm going to just keep it real. So if you're 2-5, then you would be 4-7. All right? Again, and there are winnable games down the stretch, but what gives you the idea that they're going to win any of these games? They weren't even competitive today. They really weren't even competitive. Who else do we have? Do you want to hear from Gabe Davis, the touchdown maker / dropper? Let's hear from him while we wait for Trevor. We're going to wrap this up in about 10 minutes. So here's Gabe Davis.
I mean, disappointing is an easy word, I guess, but almost stunning, really, the performance today.
Yeah, I mean, just got to play better. Playmakers got to make more plays, and, I mean, starting with me, I mean, it just wasn't enough. You know.
Obviously, had a couple plays, you just didn't make it.
Yeah, we had some plays out there we just didn't make. You know, it's what happened.
How contagious can that be? Just much like good plays, where it starts going the other way.
Yeah, I mean, it goes both ways. You got to try and not let the negative creep in when bad things do happen, because that's football. You know, things are gonna happen. So just got to learn how to keep moving forward, keep your head up.
Are you a bit surprised that you guys aren't answering that bell at times when things kind of get going in a bad way? You're not able to pop out of it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like there's always a little surprise. You put a lot of work in, a lot of time to be able to be successful every single week. So we just haven't been successful consistently, which is, you know, sucks. So
what's it take for that? I mean, is that leadership? Is that just a guy making a play?
It's just everybody doing their job, you know, being committed to doing what they're supposed to do. And naturally, everything just ties in together to all 11 on the field. So
you guys come in here with high expectations, now 1-5. What's that do internally? How do you keep your confidence, try to dig out of
it? Just the name of the game. You know, you got to keep pushing, got to keep working. Still got a lot of football, so you can't just put your head down and quit, you know. Just got to keep going. And I feel like that's what we're going to do for sure. So.
This is a team that does not have confidence. There's no question. And like I said, I don't think they're a mentally strong team. I think they're a mentally weak team. I think that they're a football team, when things go bad, they just get worse. I don't think they can go from one play to the next play. I don't think they can put away a bad play. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it lingers. I don't know if, again, I don't know if there's not enough, you know, enthusiasm. I don't know if there's not enough leadership. All that crap doesn't matter, you know, because now we're going to, you know what? You're 1-5. You know what that means? That means the culture's not good. Remember 2 years ago with Doug Pederson, same guy? Culture was great. Pushed all the right buttons psychologically, you know. Started winning close games. Started winning close games. Well, what happened to that team? What happened to that team? They were 8-3 last year. The end of 22, halfway through 23, and then the rest of 23 and 24, back to the way it was in the beginning of 22. Just not good enough, man. It's just no good. It just makes no sense to watch this team with some talent Are they good enough? No. Obviously not. Obviously not. Christian Kirk also meeting the media today. Let's hear from him right now.
I mean, we've done this before, but this just feels like you guys can't get ahead of, I guess, the sticks, to use a football term. You can't find momentum right now. Do you guys feel that way too?
Yeah, today was just self-inflicted wounds, and we cannot stop the bleeding. And it's just hard to be good football teams. Say it over and over again. It's hard to be good football teams when you do that. Turnovers and taking tackles for loss. On first and second down. It's just we're putting ourselves in hard spots to be able to succeed. And we talk about complimentary football today too, and we just did not do that. So, like I said, it's just hard to win when you make those mistakes.
Does it surprise you that this group, got a lot of veterans, I know you got some young guys, got veterans, hasn't been able to bounce back from when things start to, in a game, go sideways? It seemed like after Gabe dropped the ball in the end zone, the momentum really shifted to Chicago, and they controlled a good chunk of the game.
Yeah, I think it just goes back to that complimentary football of just not responding to one another. And you talked about it after. I don't know if offense is not responding well to defense not responding to offense. I don't question if guys have each other's back or don't want to play for one another, because we definitely have that, and we have the veteran leadership, we have the players that can do it. It's just doing it, and it's playing with that passion for all 4 quarters, not just spurts throughout the game. So that's just part of what's going wrong right now.
I know there's a line between keeping it together and really firing this thing up. How much longer can you guys wait for it to come together?
Can't. We got to take it. As players, we have to do our job every single down, and it's further than practice throughout the week, because we practice hard. It's one of the hardest practicing teams that I've been around. It's just when we get between the lines and those whistles blows, we have to do our job every single play, and I think that's one of the problems is it's one person here, one person there, whether it's making opportunity or making a mistake. It's starting to compile.
Trevor Lawrence.
And then obviously it didn't go our way. Didn't make enough plays, didn't execute, and had just too many mistakes. So, I guess I can't say that it wasn't that, because I think that definitely can contribute to that. So, yeah.
He bounced back with some scores later in the game, but how was it a momentum killer? I guess maybe Gabe's drop touchdown on the first drive after getting the 3-and-out defensively and then marching all the way down the field.
No, it's football. That happens. I missed a couple throws tonight too, so it's going to happen. Obviously, you want those guys to catch every ball, and that'd be great, and they want to catch every ball, but that's just not this game, and you're going to make mistakes, and stuff's going to happen, and we end up getting a field goal, and it's 3-0 us. So, yeah, we'd love to score, but it's a long game. I think as a team, we can't be so fragile. It's like, it's not going to go perfect every week. Most weeks aren't going to go perfect. You're going to have to sometimes dig yourself out of a hole. We got down in the second quarter and had an opportunity to come out at halftime and didn't take advantage of it. So, no, I don't think that was. Obviously, you look back, every play matters, and we had plenty of mistakes. But no, I don't think that was a huge momentum shift. Obviously, you'd love to make it, but no, it's on all of us.
Trevor, is there any way back from 1-5 for the team and for the head coach?
Yeah, we got 11 more games, so there's definitely a way back. We got to, me pumping us up isn't going to do anything up here, so we got to take care of business on our end. But yeah, it's a long season, and we have a lot of football left.
Are you still playing for Doug?
Am I still playing for Doug?
The team is still playing for Doug,
yeah. Yeah, that's our head coach, and we're a team, and look, this is tough. Losing is hard, and it's hard. So, but it has nothing to do with that relationship, how we feel about coach, and we're a group. We're staying together, and we know brighter days are ahead. We just have to keep working. We have to keep putting our best foot forward, and we just got to stick together as a team. We got to play more complementary. We're not playing good team football right now. So whatever the answer to that is, we got to find it quick. But yeah, there's no thought of that on my mind.
What gives you confidence going into next week's game?
Gives me confidence. I know, what we can do as a team. I've seen it. We have some really good players, a lot of playmakers. We've had I'm speaking offensively because obviously that's my side of the ball. We've done it before. I've seen us pull ourselves out of holes bigger than this. I mean, it's challenging, but you can't look at it as all this stuff that we have to do. We just have to take it one day at a time, 1 week at a time. That's what we said before the Colts game. That's what we said before this game too. And it didn't go our way, but that doesn't mean you jump ship and you quit. And it's one game. I mean, it's a long season, and I've been through a lot in my career. I've lost a lot of games, and we got to change that around here. And but we have to be the ones that do it. We have to take accountability. We have to go play well and find a way to win. It's not going to go perfect, but just find a way to win in the end and put yourself in position to. That's what sucks is today we didn't even have a chance to because we made too many mistakes. So, those games always definitely suck.
What positives can you take as an offense after a tough loss today?
I thought we actually did a lot of things well. I thought we were better on third down. We weren't able to run the ball as good as we wanted to based on a lot of different things. A lot of factors go into that. I think the way the game went and us having to become kind of pass heavy towards the end to try to score quick, that's a big part of it. But I thought we did some really nice things. Like I said, better on third down. Thought we had a good plan for this defense. It's a good defense. And like I said, it was just the mistakes that kind of started to accumulate, whether it was turnovers or it was just assignments, little things here and there there's enough blame to go around for everybody, and including myself. So there's plenty of that there. But it seemed like our plan and our plays were there, and we made a lot of them, but then we made some crucial errors too. It felt like when we got some big plays, we would have some penalties or we'd turn it over, and then we didn't play complementary. When the defense got a stop, we didn't score. When we got a big kick return, we didn't score. When we turned it over, they went and scored. And that's the quickest way to lose in this league, is to not take advantage of your opportunities when you get that momentum. It felt like we didn't take advantage of it today.
After the fumble by Evan, how pleased were you with them bouncing back the very next series with two very crucial catches in that next drive?
I mean, I'm not surprised at all. Evan's a guy I got a lot of trust in. Obviously, it's good to have him back. He made some big plays today. And like I said, we can't be, and that's why I'm talking about fragile as a team. Like, we can't, he had a fumble. He knows that. He knows that, that stuff shouldn't happen and that can affect the game. But it's one play. So you have to bounce back as an individual, but also the team around you has to pick you up. And, offensively, we got to go make more plays next time we get the ball. Defensively, we got to get a stop. It's on all of us. So there's going to be mistakes. And we had 2 turnovers today, which didn't help us. It's harder to win that way. But you got to be able to overcome stuff too. You can't just say, all right, we don't want to turn the ball over. So what happens when you do turn it over? Do you just stop playing? So, I think that's a big part of it is, he's a very resilient guy. So I wasn't surprised to see how he bounced back. And I know he's beating himself up, but it's not on him. I mean, it's one play in a long game, and you got to be able to overcome some stuff.
Do you learn more about yourself and the team after a defeat like that?
Yeah, I think how we respond is the biggest thing. And, good thing is we play next week. We have another opportunity. We're staying here. We're not going anywhere, so you guys get us for another week. But, yeah, you'll learn a lot of just the way we respond. And we have to stick together. And obviously you want to watch the tape and take all the accountability and really figure out what you can do better as an individual, as an offense. Just take it for what it is and then move on. By the time Tuesday, Wednesday comes around, we have to be moved on to getting ready for New England, because it's another game. This league, it doesn't slow up. You play a good team every week. So whatever we can do to get our minds, our bodies all ready to go and play well on Sunday, that's the biggest thing, and that's all we can do, and just take it one game at a time.
All right, last one over here.
Following up with what you said earlier, does it feel like this team right now has to play close to perfect in order to have success? You can't make a mistake because it kind of snowballs from there. Does it feel like it'd be perfect?
It's a good question. I mean, I don't think that you can't play that way because you're never going to be perfect. Did it feel that way today? Yes, because it did snowball. So I think that unfortunately it happened today, and we let those mistakes kind of accumulate and just pile on. But you're never going to play perfect. So if you're waiting to play perfect, you're not going to win a lot of games. So I think as a team, we do have to be better at overcoming adversity. And when things don't go well. You know, you want to start fast, and I thought we started pretty good today. You know, we got 3 points. Obviously, we love a good touchdown. We got 3 points. Started off, we got a stop before that. And that's been kind of our problem in the past, was not starting. So we did that today, and then we still had some of these mistakes creep in. So whatever it takes just to play full 60 minutes as clean as you can. And if you do make a mistake, just go make the next play. And you don't have to do more than your job. I think that's a big part of it. And I'm talking to myself too. I know as a quarterback, sometimes when one play doesn't go right, the next play it's happened a ton in my career where I try to make the play the next time and make it worse because I'm trying to do too much and I'm not just doing my job. So I think that's a big part of it too, that we have to do as a team and just control that aspect of it. Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Say you're fragile without saying you're fragile. That's what Trevor Lawrence just said, right? I said it earlier. Mentally weak. Just things snowball. Self-inflicted wounds, I heard from Christian Kirk. You hear them all. You know, words, not deeds. We need action. And what we are is a 1-5 football team. So there you have it. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us on the post-game show. You heard from a bunch of the guys. Don't know what the next step is. They got another football game Sunday. They'll stay over there. They'll play the New England Patriots. Same time, different place. They'll go over to Wembley and play the game there. So, but what a bummer of a day for the Jacksonville Jaguars and the franchise. And they fall to 1-5 and pretty much end every kind of dream and hope. We'll talk more about it tonight on primetime, 10:30 Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47. Jags Report Live tomorrow. Tommy McManus will join me. Passionate man. We need some of him injected. You know what bugs me about the team? The players, not one of them sounds ticked off. I know they are. I get it, but how about somebody get up and get mad? Somebody shove Brent Martineau. You know, get mad at a reporter. Do something. I don't know. I mean, act like, good gracious. How about, man, we stink. This is ridiculous. We're not this, I don't know. It's just me. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you tonight. See you tomorrow. Lots of Jags news coming your way. None of it any good.